And they say that the mind doesn't end at the edge of our skin tissue, but that the mind emerges in the feedback loops, the circular relationship between brains and their non-biological props and scaffoldings. And so in many ways, this OpenAI, this chatbot, when you're talking to these large language models, you're really talking to a magic mirror that is intelligent enough to reflect your own mind. It's only as smart as the prompts it gets. It's only reflecting your own imagination or lack thereof back to you. So again, it puts the responsibility back on us to use these tools to manifest our imagination in the world, even more so than we already have. I read a great line that said, the imagination is summoning its own literalization. The imagination is summoning its own literalization, right? Like, think about it. If you could look at human progress through time-lapse footage, it would look like our thoughts get concretized in the world. It would look like space shuttles and iPhones and space stations and the internet and jet engines just like popped out of the mind, right? Like, we think of these things, we dream of these things, and then we pull the present forward to meet those possibilities. But increasingly, we're hitting bullet time. And with the assistance of artificial intelligence, with the assistance of our own minds reflected and amplified back to us, we're going to hit a whole different kind of bullet time. A chrysalis is going to be breached, right? A kind of singularity is what Ray Kurzweil calls it, which is a term from physics to describe what happens when you go through a black hole. Namely, everything you thought you knew falls away. It's actually more like a psychedelic experience, right? Or as the Jesuit priest Teilhard de Chardin said, it's the omega point, right? It's where we finally become what? Divine, perhaps? Where the universe wakes up? Or as Carl Sagan says, we are a way for the cosmos to know itself? Well, I think it's finally happening, right? We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams, according to O'Shaughnessy. And I've always had a sneaking suspicion that our consciousness might ultimately be more primary than matter. That's what the theory of information tells us anyway. And now that we're putting consciousness into sand that thinks, we're increasingly fusing consciousness into all matter. So we're going from dumb matter to smart matter, inert matter to matter that thinks. Or as David Deutsch famously said in his essay, Chemical Scum That Dream of Distant Quasars, in the early universe, very, very, very big things like black holes and planets and stars, very big, dumb things had all the power. And the little things, well, we just got obliterated. But then with the emergence of life, for example, photosynthesis, all of a sudden little things could transform entire planets. And then with us, little things like us could potentially harness the power of star systems and become star makers ourselves. So we may have started as chemical scum that dream of distant quasars, but those dreams are being actionized, literalized, thanks to the power of imagination. And thanks now to the power of things like artificial intelligence. And this next video, which was done with artificial intelligence to explore a new languaging of one's inner life, speculates what creating synthetic thinking might look like. All the visuals are AI generated, and the idea is to put you in my dream as I rhapsodize and speculate about what we're heading.